Good afternoon to you wherever you're watching Ogun State Television. This is News at 2. I am Adebola Oshomoji. In actualizing the vision of making agriculture the platform for employment and food security, Ogun State government has linked hundreds of women and youth in agribusiness to access funds from financial institutions. The revelation was made by Dr. Angel Adelaja Kuye, Senior Special Assistant to Ogun State Governor during Agriculture Finance Minister, and the report. To encourage youth and women in partaking in agribusiness without any hindrance, the Ogun State Ministry of Agriculture has partnered with various financial institutions across the state. This seminar, organized by the ministry, harbored the first set of 100 youth in the state and linked to necessary information from funding partners on accessing agricultural fund. The State Senior Special Advisor to the Governor on Agriculture, Dr. Angel Adelaja Kuye, stated that the 4-day seminar has enfolded business plan development, financial, panel sessions, and one-on-one interaction with representatives from each financial institution.
It's also to make sure that they are investment ready. Many times they know how to run their business, but to package their business in such a way where somebody can also put funds into it becomes difficult. So after this 4-day training, they will go through an enterprise development training, and they will actually learn how to put their business plan together, put their financials together, pitch their business, make sure they know how to market and scale and grow very efficient agribusinesses. Ogun State is the industrial capital of the nation, and we also want to make it the agricultural capital.
Participants were full of appreciation and optimistic in having access to fund facilitated by the state government.
My passion is crawling presently because I need to use personal funds. And it's not making me get to where I want to get to, and it's making the whole thing draggy. So I'm here to actually get insights into how to access capital enough to improve my business. All and how I was able to register, I think, yes, the government is ready to help farmers.
I strongly believe that this seminar will give us access to funds.
The seminar was an eye-opener for the participants in expanding their horizon in agriculture. Ogun State Civil Service Commission has conducted a qualifying written examination for staff of Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital, OOUTH, seeking upgrade into various professional cadres in the civil service. Speaking during the exercise at the Staff Development Center at Abeokuta, the Chairman State Civil Service Commission, Engineer Tokunbo Odebomi, disclosed that the examination conducted by the Public Service Competitive Examination Board is to test the ability, knowledge, and performance of the candidate. Engineer Odebomi explained that the applicants who sat for the examination cut across various cadres, including administrative, nutrition, social welfare, accounting, and information, adding that successful ones would occupy vacant position in the institution. He said one of the core mandates of the board is to score candidates based on merit and would not relent in sustaining the tempo, noting that the Civil Service Commission is the warehouse where recruitment, training, and planning are put together.
This is one of the fundamental innovations that we want to bring into the Civil Service Commission. We believe that we have enough material that can conduct examinations both in the service, civil service, in the public service, and even for the private sector. And one of the reasons why we have taken up this particular one is to start the process of going to conduct examinations for other statutory agencies, like the Local Government Service Commission, Teaching Service Commission, SUBEB, Local Government Service Commission, and very many more other commissions that are not statutory. One of the mandates of the Civil Service Commission is to analyze and score officers and merits to help them for their examination and in advancement of their careers.
Speaking on behalf of other candidates, Mr. Dairo Olugbenga and Mrs. Oniyiton Abiola appreciated the state government for the privilege and described the process capable of giving them the opportunity to contribute their quota to the growth of the state as laudable. The Ogun State government has commenced enumeration of all properties, public and private, in all the 20 local government areas of the state for the purpose of proper planning and equitable distribution of resources and basic infrastructure in the state. In a statement by the Honorable Commissioner for Finance and Chief Economic Advisor, Mr. Dapo Okubadejo, enumerators will be visiting houses, offices and industries to collect necessary information that are needed for the exercise, which dated from February 1st, 2021. According to the statement, the enumeration is not an opportunity to put unnecessary burden on the people of the state, but an exercise meant for the development of the gateway state. The state government hereby appeals to homeowners, industries, offices and private estates in the state to allow enumerators into their properties and provide adequate information that may be required. Producing employable graduates must form part of Nigeria's educational system in Nigeria, as it encompasses full academic spectrum of values, from imparting knowledge and understanding to developing skills and attributes, with capacity building not left out. This forms the crux of opinions of some experts who express their opinions of the levels of graduate being churned out by Nigerian's university. Benga Adekoya has the details.
Examining the worrisome issue of employability of Nigerian university graduates in recent times, which have become a great concern to all and sundry, experts said lack of complementary life skills, low moral standards, low employment generating capacity of the Nigerian economy, and the certification mentality are some of the factors contributing to the issues of unemployment in Nigeria. Mrs. Dorcas James, a management consultant, suggested that Nigerian graduates can be made employable through the active involvement of all stakeholders, which includes institutions of higher learning, graduates, employers, parents, and the government.
For employability skills to be improved, it's a matter of collective efforts for both the external stakeholders and the internal stakeholders, external people and the students themselves. The external people include the parents or guardians, as the case may be, the teachers, the lecturers.
To the former president, Nigerian Institute of Training and Development, NITAD, Mrs. Janet Iyabo Jola-Osho, Nigerian institutions of learning need to update their curricula to reflect the labor market needs and inculcate all skills needed to be employable into the lives of the graduates.
For the government universities, there's a need to improve there's a need to improve on the training and the education of the students, so that by the time they come out, they will come out with the appropriate knowledge, appropriate skill, and appropriate attitude that can make them employable or to be self-employed.
Some respondents advocated that local raw materials be put into intensive use to increase production in Nigeria and make capacity building our watchword. For
you to have to be employment ready, you need to have a mix of knowledge, skills, and attitude.
Youth especially should embrace entrepreneurship. There's no economy in the world, we're talking about the developed economies like the US, the UK, most European countries and so on and so forth, that are where they are today, if not for the rate of the attention they pay to entrepreneurship.
With all said and done, it is believed that this will resuscitate the Nigerian economy and create more employment for the teeming youths. Benga Adekoya, OGTV News.
Chairman of Northern Governors Forum and Governor of Plateau State, Simon Lalong, has advised Nigerians never to allow religion and ethnicity to divide the country. He noted that crisis merchants who are bent on causing violence by burning places of worship to attract religious sentiment should not be given a breathing space in any part of the country. Lalong tasked the Interreligious Council to work closely with the peace-building agency to resolve the current conflict in some local government areas of the state and champion forgiveness. Lalong stated further that his administration clearly understands that many of the people have been hurt and could have also caused pain for others. Many cannot seem to erase the hurt from their mental hard drive and continue to harbor bitterness, resentment, and anger. Twice rejected by the State House of Assembly for being a security threat, Justice Akon Percy Ikpeme was on Monday sworn in by Cross River Governor Professor Ben Ayadi at the Executive Council Chambers, Calabar, as the Chief Judge of the state. Age 62, Justice Ikpeme became a judge on 16 November 1998 and served in acting capacity as Chief Judge from 3 December 2019 to March 2020 before her swearing in on Monday as the second female Chief Judge of the state. Speaking after her swearing in, Cross River State Chief Judge, His Lordship, Justice Akon Ikpeme, said it was with deep appreciation that she thanks God who rules in the affairs of men. Speaking earlier, Cross River State Governor Professor Ben Ayadi said the swearing-in of Justice Akon Ikpeme was the end of the internal concerns of the state judiciary, Ayadi said. Speaking with the newsmen shortly after the swearing-in ceremony, President Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, Olumide Akpata, said they were extremely delighted that Justice Ikpeme has finally been sworn in as the Chief Judge of Cross River. As controversies continue to trial the placement of ban on cryptocurrency by the Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigerians have been speaking on the impact of the ban on financial transactions in the digital space. Matthew Shoumi in this special report samples people's opinion on the purpose for the ban. His report.
A cryptocurrency is a digital asset designed to work as a medium of exchange where individual coin ownership records are stored in a ledger existing in a form of computerized database using strong cryptography to secure transaction records, creation of additional coins, and to verify the transfer of coin ownership. Bitcoin, first released as open source software in 2019, is the first centralized form of cryptocurrency and has been a source of revenue generation for many who specialize in trading in Bitcoin in the country. Recently, the Central Bank of Nigeria came out with a pronouncement placing a ban on cryptocurrency, which has continued to generate mixed reactions across different quarters.
It's actually an alert from FBI that, see, there are a lot of movements of funds in the system and is actually accrue or alluded to cryptocurrency. And of course, if we can actually curtail this, because issue of money laundering is killing the economy and is killing the country. So if government can actually stop this and nip it at the bud, it will boost our economy.
There's a lot of thinking that must have gone behind what CBN did. And I think there's also a lot of room for conversations as well. So for me, I think it's an ongoing process.
It's both negative and positive. Negative in the sense that some of those foreign direct investment that comes into the country, right, it will stop in form of cryptocurrency. But again, we cannot look at that side alone. We also need to look at what is the impact on the global view of a country called Nigeria.
They called on the Central Bank of Nigeria to reconsider its decision, as a lot of people's source of revenue will be seriously affected by the ban.
So we need to see what are the other developed world, what are they doing in terms of the utilization of these cryptocurrencies.
It's an ongoing conversation, right? And I think that is the best way to describe it. It's an ongoing conversation. The CBN is there to make policies that positively impact the nation, right? And there's always a lot of conversations.
With more activities being carried out virtually, the days ahead will be an interesting one in the digital world, going by the ban. Matthew Shomi, OGTV News.
News at 2 continues after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back. The news continues. The Inspector General of Police tenure extension for 3 months by President Muhammadu Buhari has generated mixed reactions from Nigerians. Some say it is a right decision. Others believed that the extension is not needed. The Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, was due to retire from the police force last Monday, having spent the maximum 35 years in service. Our reporter, Bumi Adigun, has more on the recent development in the police hierarchy.
The tenure of the Inspector General of Police ended on Monday, 1st of February 2021, while Nigerians were waiting for the handover of the IGP, Muhammad Adamu, to the most senior police officer, which was to be determined by the President. 3 days after his official retirement, having spent the maximum of 35 years in service, came an announcement from the Minister of Police Affairs, Mohammed Dingyadi, that his tenure has been extended by 3 months.
To allow for a robust and efficient process of appointing a new IG. I think this is not unconnected with the desire of Mr. President to not only have a smooth handover, but to also ensure that right officer is being appointed into that position.
The development has been generating public concerns as they raised their voices against the issue. Lekon Oketokun is a senior lecturer of the School of Communications at the Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, Abeokuta. He bears his mind on the latest development as regards the current security situation in the country.
To now say that you want to extend the appointment of the IG for 3 months, it's something that is not very well thought out, because both the IG and the presidency, they know that there is a terminal date for such appointments. But you can't rule out the issue of politics.
Others described the extension of the Inspector General of Police by the President as illegal, pointing out that the President cannot appoint an IGP or extend his tenure without the advice of the Nigerian Police Council.
I think it is laughable and a bit of a joke taken too far if you are trying to excuse that and say it is for Mr. President to find a suitable replacement. No, that's not how it works when it comes to the police. There are people who are natural replacements for an outgoing IG. All right, there are people there. And even if that were to be the case, the president had ample time before the end of service of the IG to choose a suitable replacement.
Pastor Olushola Suba, a retired Assistant Inspector General of Police, also lent his voice on the developments.
Constitutionally, you work for 35 years and you retire. And if you attain the age of 62, you retire. That is the law of the land. But the president has the prerogative to decide whether to give an extension or not. This is not the first time. It has happened before.
The 90 days of a 3-month extension is less of 9 days, and Nigerians are counting down and looking forward to the next line of action of the federal government and who takes over as the next Inspector General of Police. Bumi Adigun, OGTV News.
An armed robbery suspect, Adeolu Bankole of Adagba Quarters, Ayetoro, has been arrested by the operatives of Ogun State Police Command. The suspect, who had been using Civil Defense Corps uniform to carry out his robbery operation, was apprehended on the 5th of February 2021 following a complaint by some students of Olabisi Onabanjo University, Ayetoro campus, who reported at Ayetoro Area Command that they were robbed of their belongings and at gunpoint by an armed robber who broke into their apartment dressed in civil defense uniform and disposed them of their phones and laptops, according to a statement signed by the police public relations officer, Abimbola Oyeyemi. Upon the report, the area commander Ayetoro ACP Anthony Haruna detailed his detectives to go after the hoodlum. After hours of painstaking investigation, the detectives received information about the hideout of the suspect. On getting there, a bag containing 6 phones, 1 laptop, a pair of civil defense uniform, and a locally made pistol was found. Upon the discovery, the detectives mounted surveillance in the area, and at about 5 p.m., the suspect sneaked into the uncompleted building, which is the hideout, and moved straight to where the bag was kept. He was quickly surrounded and brought to the station. 2 other stolen phones and a wristwatch was also found on him. The Commissioner of Police, CP Edward Ajogun, has ordered the immediate transfer of the suspect to the State Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department for discreet investigation and diligent prosecution. Police in Myanmar have fired rubber bullets during a demonstration in the capital, Naypyidaw, as people defy attempts to end days of protest. Water cannons were used earlier to disperse protesters who are demanding democracy be restored following a coup which removed the elected government. The military has brought in bans on large public gatherings and introduced nighttime curfews in some cities, but protests have gone ahead in several cities for the 4th consecutive day. Military leader Aung Hlaing warned on Monday that no one is above the law, although he did not issue a direct threat to protesters. The report further stated that action must be taken against those breaking the law in Southeast Asian nation. The second impeachment trial of Donald Trump begins on Tuesday as state leaders agreed on a rapid timetable. The former president is charged with inciting insurrection in a speech to supporters ahead of the deadly riots at the U.S. Capitol on 6 January. Democrats say they have overwhelming evidence of his guilt, while his defense team claims rioters acted independently. The defense called the trial absurd and unconstitutional, and its legality of it will be a focus on Tuesday. Mr. Trump is the only U.S. president in history to have been impeached twice, and one of the only 3 have been impeached at all. And finally, in sport, the Qatar 2020 World Cup organizers have insisted that matches will be staged in stadia operating at 100% of capacity, even as the global fight against coronavirus drags on. In Tokyo, Organizers of this year's rescheduled Olympics have insisted their tournament will go ahead, but infectious disease experts questioned the safety of hosting before the virus is comprehensively defeated, and speculations is rife that they could be called off. If the Olympics fall, the 2020 World Cup being staged in the Middle East for the first time will be the next major global sporting event to face the scrutiny of its virus strategy and safety plan. And before we end the news, unity is strength. When there is teamwork and collaboration, wonderful things can be achieved. You can watch us live on this platform, Apple, Roku, Facebook, and Android devices. You can also watch live on OGTV website, www.ogtv.com.ng/live. And now we have come to the end of the news at 2. Many thanks for watching. Bye.